Get out of here. I'm not cooking. Ciao, y'all. Let me ask you a question. Can you fry an egg in a stainless steel pan? Of course you can. Question is, why? So today we're going to take a little departure from talking about ingredients. We're going to talk about equipment, specifically frying pans. One of the things you keep hearing nowadays is that that you can cook your eggs in a stainless steel pan. Like, I don't know how many videos I've seen telling you, hey, guess what? You can cook eggs in a stainless steel pan. But I don't understand why people are hyper-focused on how you cook your eggs. And it's funny because a few years ago, it was carbon steel pans. Everybody wanted to show you how to cook an egg in a carbon steel pan. And before that, it was cast iron pans. Look, all of these pans have their place in your kitchen, but not for frying eggs. So we're going to talk a little bit about what are the different types of pans, what do they do, and what's going to be right for you for most uses. So first of all, stainless steel pans. What are stainless steel pans? Well, at the end of the day, a stainless steel pan, I have a stainless steel pan here, is an aluminum pan that is clad in stainless steel. Now, why do they do that? Well, I'll tell you why. An aluminum pan like this one, this is just a plain aluminum pan. You see how they look similar, except they're not, because this is aluminum, this is steel. The stainless steel pan is non-reactive. Aluminum, just plain aluminum like this, is a reactive material. That means that it reacts with acids. So if I were cooking something like tomato sauce or something like that in here, doing it real quickly is probably fine, but if I were cooking something over a long period of time, it would leach aluminum into my food, and we don't want that. It also would damage the pan. It would start getting pitted from the acids. So you don't want to cook acids in a straight up aluminum pan. So how can you get an aluminum pan to not do that? Well, first, why aluminum? Aluminum is, for most uses, especially for frying pans, aluminum is like nearly the perfect material. It evenly distributes heat, it speeds up fast, it cools down fast, it helps you control your cooking. So it's a great material. But again, because aluminum is reactive, it's problematic for certain types of foods. So why stainless steel? Well, once you clad the aluminum in stainless steel, it no longer has that reactive property. So now you have something that heats and cools and distributes heat the same as aluminum, but that is safe to use with any kind of food and to clean any way you want to clean it. Another way that works is with this material here, which is called hard anodized aluminum. Hard anodized aluminum, first of all, is not a non-stick material. There's a huge misconception that hard anodized aluminum is non-stick. It's not non-stick. It's non-reactive though, so it's safe for acidic foods. So these two pans work exactly the same way. Why would you pick one over the other? Well, I have most of my pans are this aluminum. This is the only stainless steel pan. I'm going to talk about this pan in a little bit, why I have it. All my other pans are hard anodized aluminum. And the reason is that I have that is because at the time, that was a really great material to purchase and it was cheaper than stainless steel, although it was still pretty expensive. But now you can't get this hard anodized aluminum anymore. What you'll see now all the time is hard anodized non-stick pans. This is not the same as this. This is fully hard anodized aluminum, and this is hard anodized aluminum, but it has a non-stick coating inside. Which brings us to, what's the difference between this pan and this pan? About 40 bucks. That's the difference. This is an aluminum pan, straight up aluminum, that has a non-stick coating. This is hard anodized aluminum that has a non-stick coating. Now that I have a non-stick coating, why do I care for it to be hard anodized aluminum? That doesn't help me anymore because the non-stick coating is already non-reactive, so I don't need to worry about that. So I'd much rather go with this less expensive pan than this very expensive pan. So what are we talking about when we're talking about aluminum versus hard anodized aluminum? Again, straight up aluminum is a reactive material. Hard anodized aluminum is a non-reactive material. And hard anodizing is just a process they put the aluminum through that creates a layer of aluminum oxide on top that is impenetrable, well, nearly, right? And so that's what makes it that way. It is, again, not non-stick. Teflon, which is what's in these, and it's PTFE or something like that. Teflon's a brand name, so I don't know if these are specifically Teflon, but everybody calls it that. That's what's in these two pans. Teflon is a superior non-stick coating, but there are other non-stick coatings. There are ceramic coatings. There's other things. I can't think of them all off the top of my head, but there are other non-stick coatings. But if you ever hear somebody refer to a pan as non-stick, even if you see non-stick hard anodized, and these big companies now sell all their hard anodized pans as non-stick hard anodized, That's just this. This is a non-anodized pan, an anodized pan with the nonstick coating inside. That's what that means. Don't think you're getting a straight up hard anodized pan like this one. So is that bad? It's not bad. Again, between these two pans, I'd rather go with the straight aluminum just because of the price. Otherwise, they work exactly the same. So why do people always want you to shy away from nonstick pans? Well, I'll tell you why. Because there's this huge fear that's really not founded that Teflon is toxic, or this non-stick coating is toxic somehow. So I'm going to talk about that a little bit. Teflon can be toxic if it's heated to a really, really, really high temperature. If you heat it over like 500 degrees, it's going to let off some fumes and maybe even actual smoke. And you'll get sick probably if you breathe that in, but it'll wear off. It's like if you throw a solo cup in your campfire, right? You'll do that, you'll get sick, and the next day you'll be like, why did I throw a solo cup in my fire pit? Well, same thing if you heat up Teflon. You can get sick from the smoke that comes off of it. It goes away. If you do that repeatedly, it could probably cause you long-term problems, but you would have to do it a lot. Now, what Teflon does do, Teflon is toxic to your houseplants if you cook it on high heats all the time. And I'm talking heats like 400 degrees and higher. So Teflon pans are meant to be used at lower heats. Me personally, when I cook eggs, I like to cook them at a lower heat. So I like nonstick because nothing's going to stick to it, and I'm not going to heat it up that hot anyway. For everything, that, by the way, I'm going to just tell you, I do own these kinds of nonstick pans, and I own these because I like to cook eggs in them, and that is all I do with these. That's all I ever do with these. I have them for omelets and for cooking eggs, and I have a couple of them. I fry eggs, scramble eggs, everything in those pans because it's super convenient, and like I said, I'm not going to heat it that high, so my eggs cook nicely. As far as all these other kinds of pans go, you have to get it really hot. So if you watch these pans, stainless steel videos where they're cooking eggs in stainless steel, they're all going to tell you about something called the Leidenfrost effect. And I'm not going to get into details on that. Just go watch a stainless steel pan video and you'll learn all about it. But to get a pan hot enough for the Leidenfrost effect to take place, it's too hot to cook your eggs in. So what's going to happen is, sure, your eggs going to slide around and they're just fine in all this super hot oil, but it's going to get toasty on the bottom, and I don't like my eggs to be brown. So I like to cook them on low heat. Now, what is the difference between all these pans that are really aluminum pans? Every pan I have here is aluminum except this one. So the stainless steel pan is still aluminum, remember, just with stainless steel cladding to make it non-reactive. Just like these have Teflon coating to make them non-reactive and non-stick, and just like this one has anodizing to make it non-reactive. They're all still core aluminum pans. This is cast iron. And again, you hear about cast iron all the time. Here's the thing about cast iron. Cast iron takes a really long time to heat up and a really long time to cool down. So cast iron is really good for things where you want the pan to maintain its heat. Like let's say you throw a cold steak into the pan, the cast iron is going to hold on to its heat longer, and so it's not going to take a long time to heat back up to cook your steak, right? So you can get a nice sear from it because the cast iron is staying hot. So cast iron if you want a pan that just stays hot. All these other things if you want pans that are more controllable. Here's what I haven't talked about yet, and that's carbon steel. And I own lots of cast iron pans, mostly because they were handed down to me by my grandmother. But I only own one carbon steel pan, and that's this fellow right here. This is my 12-inch wok. I bought this, and if you're shopping for carbon steel pans online, you're going to find they are outrageously expensive. I bought this at like a local grocery store when I lived in California. It's like 30 years ago. And I got this for, I think, like $15 back then. So it'd probably be $20 or $25 now. This thing is fantastic. So is it non-stick? Well, yes, it is. It's non-stick and non-reactive. And so is this cast iron. And here's why. Because they are seasoned. Cast iron and carbon steel are, by default, by their nature, are reactive materials, and they are also, because they're straight up iron, so they'll rust and they'll leach iron into your foods, and they're both, what did I say? They're both reactive and they're both very sticky. But as you cook in them over time, and that's what seasoning means, If you ever hear anybody say seasoning means you're adding flavor to your food through your pan, you are not. Seasoning just means using it over time. It builds up a non-stick and non-reactive layer, and that layer is basically polymers. As you heat oil in a pan or any kind of fat in a pan, it polymerizes. It turns into basically a plastic. So it's almost like you have Teflon in here, but the Teflon is not going to come out and it's not going to be toxic to you in any way or cause you any problems. So yes, I can cook an egg in a stainless steel skillet. It's still difficult though because I got to get the skillet really hot. I can cook eggs in carbon steel, actually easy peasy. This heats up even faster than aluminum and cools down even faster. And I cook eggs in this pan a lot because I make fried rice in this pan. And when I make fried rice, I go ahead and cook my eggs in this pan. Nothing sticks to this pan. Rice doesn't stick to it. Eggs don't stick to it because it's well seasoned and very well loved. When I bought this pan, it was shiny inside, just like one of these other pans. But it's not now because it's well seasoned. So back to your stainless steel pans and your other pans. I think I pretty much covered how these all work. I do want to talk real quickly about this specific pan. Again, I own lots of stainless steel like saucepans and stock pots and that sort of thing. This is the only skillet I own, the stainless steel, and here's why I have this pan. While I was working on this video, I was actually in the while I was working on a different video, I was in the supermarket buying some stuff and I saw this pan hanging up. And this pan is from Babish. If you're not familiar with Babish, there'll be a link to his channel and to this pan in the description. He does really fun stuff. He does a show called Binging with Babish where he watches like a TV show or a movie and then cooks something that was in the show. Anyway, good guy. He has these pans on the market and I saw this thing hanging in there. This pan was $30, which is by far the cheapest stainless steel pan I've ever seen. This thing is, and when I talk about a stainless steel pan, I'm talking about a 3-ply pan. That's a layer of stainless steel, a layer of aluminum, and another layer of stainless steel. And they're 5-ply pans or whatever. 3-ply is what you're looking for. I mean, 5 is probably fine, but 3 is all you need. And it's 3-ply all the way through. It doesn't have like a plate on the bottom and then a thin layer of stainless steel on the outside. This is a 3-ply pan all the way through. I bought this pan to do this video. I was like, I'm just going to show this off. And I've used it a couple times and it's a good pan. So if you're trying to save money, I got this thing at the supermarket for $30. I think they sell them for more on Amazon, so you might want to check your local stores before buying it on Amazon, or check both places. But that was a pretty good deal. What about these other pans? This thing is going back. This is my hard anodized aluminum pan that I purchased also for this video. This is going back. I would not spend that kind of money on one of these. All the rest of these are my normal pans that I keep around. I want to talk about washing pans. Is really the last thing I need to talk about. Cleaning your pans. First, I want to talk about cast iron and carbon steel. Because these are seasoned, you will hear a lot of people tell you that you should never ever wash them. Then, on the other hand, you will hear a bunch of other people tell you that if you don't wash these pans, you're going to get sick from bacteria that's growing on them. I am here to tell you that both of those are false. That is absolute bunk. So first, let's talk about what would happen if you wash this. Well, if I wash this with a mild detergent like Dawn dish liquid or something, if I wash this out with that, it's not going to hurt the seasoning. I mean, if I'm scrubbing the hell out of it with stainless steel scrubber or something, maybe, but just like using my Scrub Daddy and a little bit of soap is not going to harm it. I actually do use my Scrub Daddy on this, not normally with soap though. I just don't like using soap in my pans, so I don't. But what happens if I don't wash it? Am I going to kill my whole family? Well, they haven't died yet, but that isn't proof, so I'm going to give you some. When you cook something in a pan, the reality is you don't actually have to wash any of these pans. You just should because it's gross. But the reality is when you heat this pan up to cook something, let's just say I take a piece of raw chicken, right? And then I put it in the hot pan. What happens to the raw chicken? It becomes cooked, and then whatever bacteria was in the chicken is dead. Well, guess what? This pan no longer has bacteria because what killed the bacteria was the heat from the pan. But let's say a little bit of bacteria stuck around. It just hung out in the pan. It's not going to because I'm going to clean out all the stuff that's stuck to it. But let's say a little bit of bacteria stuck in the pan and now it's all like, oh, it can't wait to get in me. I'm going to heat this pan to 350, 400 degrees. All it takes to kill salmonella is 160. So yeah, nothing's going to live in that pan at the temperature I'm going to get it before I cook in it. And that's why people don't wash their stainless steel or carbon steel pans. But if you did, if it makes you nervous or squeamish to not wash a pan, just make sure you use a mild detergent and something not too abrasive, and you'll be okay. Just don't get in there with something abrasive like a Brillo pad or something. Just a nice mild detergent and a Scrub Daddy or a green scrub pad will be fine. I want to talk about dishwashers. Don't put any of these things in the dishwasher, okay? Aluminum, and I have other types of aluminum pans, aluminum cookie sheets, aluminum cake pans. So if you have pans that are made of aluminum, if they look like this, right? Do not ever put these in the dishwasher. I don't do a lot of always or nevers, but this is a never. There is a chemical in your dishwashing detergent for your dishwasher called sodium citrate, which is perfectly edible. You can eat it. It's actually in like processed cheese and stuff. But it is really good at, it's a salt, and it's really good at removing stuff from your pans and your dishes, but it actually eats away at your aluminum. So if you put an aluminum pan in the dishwasher and you pull it out and it has like a dark gray coating on it, that's aluminum oxide. And basically you're eroding the pan and you're gonna eat that. So you can fix it though. If you accidentally wash this in the dishwasher, you can take it outside and just go over it with like a green scrub pad and hot water and just scrub the hell out of it and get rid of all of that dark stuff. So it is reparable if that ever happens. But just keep your pans out of the dishwasher. And of course, cast iron and carbon steel will get utterly destroyed in your dishwasher. It'll remove all the seasoning. So don't put those in there either. Just stay away from dishwashers with all your pots and pans though. That's the easiest thing. It's not hard to hand wash these things, and I just put them on my range back here to dry. It's not a problem. And last thing I want to mention is some safety about Teflon. All nonstick coatings, no matter what they are, do eventually wear out. There's a big name brand of pans that are like, they're supposed to be stainless steel and Teflon. The Teflon part on those pans will still wear out. In fact, I saw a guy cooking on one and it was getting all worn out. If this starts to get heavily scratched, you see deep scratches in it, which is why they tell you not to use steel utensils in here. If you start to see heavy scratches, or if it starts to turn a matte, sort of like a gray color, get rid of the pan. Just throw it out. The pan is no good. Which goes back to why I'm not going to spend this kind of money on a Teflon pan, but I'll spend this money on a Teflon pan, because when the day comes I have to throw this pan out, I'm not going to feel so bad about it. This one I would be very upset because it's expensive. So I think I've covered the nuts and bolts of stainless steel versus other types of pans. And if you really want to cook your eggs in a stainless steel pan, you don't want to have a nonstick pan, go ahead. But also keep in mind, if you have a thing about Teflon, they do have ceramic pans. They will also wear out. They'll start to crack or whatever, but they won't hurt you when that happens. You'll just have to throw them away. You can also get pans that have, nope, I keep saying that, but I think ceramic's the only other one I can ever think of. So those are the different types of pans you can have. Again, you don't have to spend a ton of money on these things. I have a good stainless steel pan here. I paid much less money for than I would have expected, and I use my aluminum pans, and I love them. If you do want to hunt down any hard anodized aluminum, since these companies don't really make this stuff anymore, you can find these on eBay. A lot of estate sellers have them. So that's pans for you. Again, we're not trying to go broke buying pans for our kitchen. We just need a couple of different size pans, and then we can cook everything we want to cook. And just like with everything else, always remember that the most important ingredient is love.